We have one more item, but before I read that into the record, I just want to note that the following items are being read into the record and will be presented at a later date. Number 6, number 30 through 32, numbers 36 through 38. And then the last item is number 21. This is an application for a certificate of appropriateness in the Borough of Manhattan, docket number 15-4745, block 546, lot 35, 707 Broadway, also known as 2 Washington Place, and 270 to 274 Mercer Street in the NoHo Historic District. 3 19th century buildings combined and redesigned as a modern-style educational facility by Wank Adams Slavin, architects in 1971. The application is to install rooftop mechanical equipment.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. See you. Yes, you have to go. 2 more are going. We're going to undertake. It's okay, don't worry.
Not that I had
Right. Good. I'll see you Saturday. Saturday. You take cash at the door, $5? Okay.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Yeah.
Emma Waters, the Preservation staff. The
Go.
item before you is for 727 Broadway in the NoHo Historic District. The building is located on the south side of Washington Place between Broadway and Mercer Street. The proposal is to install rooftop HVAC equipment, which will be visible south of the building from Mercer Plaza and Broadway. The project representative is here to further explain the proposal and answer your questions.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you. My name is John Doherty from Mitchell Durgan Architects. I'll be pretty brief. That's a tough act to follow, that previous presentation. Our proposal is very different. We have been working with NYU to renovate components of what is known as the Meyer Complex. The Meyer Complex is actually 3 separate buildings, 4 Washington Place, 2 Washington Place, 4 to 6 Washington Place, and 707 to 709 Broadway, which is the south half of the block. The building was 3 different buildings at one point. It operates today as 1 building. It reads from the outside as 2 buildings because it was renovated in the 70s and partially reclad. We are renovating floors on the south half of the building here, and we are proposing putting mechanical equipment, an air handler, and associated ductwork that serves the 4th and 5th floor. As you can see from these images, the roofscape is an entirely mechanical roofscape. Lots of HVAC equipment, lots of associated mechanical equipment. There's no occupied space up there at all. Some of the equipment is housed in a mechanical penthouse, some of it is on the roofs. You will see here this orange model that we've placed on the photograph, and here is our proposed insertion of mechanical equipment. It is located here because space-wise, it's really the only place it'll fit. The vertical pathway to the floors is right here in an elevator shaft that is no longer being used. We've taken some photos of other locations on the roof that we've looked at for potentially locating this equipment. There's a number of reasons why we ended up with it right here. One is just pure space. Second is that there's some existing structural steel dunnage there that we're able to reuse. Third is that it is on the least prominent location. It's on the sort of party wall location, so it avoids the primary 3 facades of the north, east, and west. Here you can take a look at the mock-up using scaffolding that we built. This is the elevator enclosure that we're going to use as a vertical pathway. Here's the dunnage here beyond. These are direct elevations of the building. This is the Broadway elevation. You see this is our building. This is the adjacent Hebrew Union building. Here you can see in section that your view of the new equipment is completely blocked from the Broadway side. This is the same sort of elevation and diagram from the West 4th Street side. This is the elevation of the Hebrew Union building, which is to our south. That blocks any view of mechanical equipment from the south. This is the same elevation, and it's a different section cut. The ductwork associated with the unit is a little bit lower there. Again, completely This is the views, what we would consider the primary elevations of the building, Washington Place, Mercer Street, direct elevation. You can just see some of the ductwork poking around here, but again, from the street, you see nothing. Now, I'm going to go through these sort of quickly. We have studied this in two different ways. We've photographed the site extensively, and we've developed a computer model that we put on top of the photograph. That's rendered in orange, so that you can actually see what's being suggested. And then we have built a mock-up using scaffolding. And so you're going to see both of them here. I'll try to point out what's what. So as you approach the site from the west, there's really very limited visibility. You can just see, this is the computer-generated mock-up. You can just see the unit poking above the parapet from Mercer Street. This now is the true mock-up. This is the same views, photographs taken from the same positions with the actual mock-up. Again, you can sort of maybe see it right in here. We've zoomed in on that photograph so you can get a sense of how much of the mechanical equipment will be visible above the parapet. But again, that's a really zoomed-in view. From the south, similarly, you have to get back quite a bit to start to see anything. It's not visible from point A here, which is a block or so south. Point B is also not visible. Point C, when you're on Mercer Plaza, which is an NYU Plaza, you can just see it. Again, this is the computer-generated model poking above the rooftop. Here's the existing zoomed-in view, and here's how much you see above the roof. Same views with the actual physical mock-up, again, as it is today, and you see part of it in the zoomed-in view poking above. This is the view as you approach the building from the east in the incidental views. No visibility from a block away. Limited visibility as you get to the corner of the site, and some not visibility as you get closer. Again, the zoomed-in views, you can see tiny bits of the air handler. Again, you approach from the east using the actual mock-up. No visibility from A, limited visibility from B, and not visible from C. The approach from the south, again, A, you're 2 or 3 blocks away, there's no visibility. B, you start to see a little bit of it here. We're looking at the computer model, so it's this orange element here. B, limited visibility, and D, some visibility. Here we've been zoomed in on D, so you can again see what's existing, how much you will see above the parapet. From the south again, this is the actual, same views as before. D, you're seeing some of it above the rooftop. From the north, which is one of the sort of primary elevations of the building, it is not visible from any of the 3 vantage points from the north. So that's the presentation. We've worked closely with landmarks. We're also talked with them extensively about color. We're proposing painting the ductwork of the unit a light gray. That tends to harmonize with some of the other mechanical things on the roof. Tends to blend in with the sky in most conditions, and avoids making a silhouette on the equipment on the roof.
Okay. We have Commissioner Bland is recused, which would bring us under the quorum, and then we've had 2 other absences. So we'll glad to have this presentation. We'll take testimony, and then we'll have a discussion, but we won't be able to act today, but we will be able to bring it forward after that. So unless there are questions right now, we'll go to the testimony. Okay. Thank you.
Barbara Say of the Historic Districts Council. This building has reached the limit of what it can feasibly fit on its roof. HDC requests that mechanical equipment installations at 707 Broadway be consolidated to preclude their visibility, including this application, which would add a lot more bulk to an already busy rooftop. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Community Board 2, whereas the mechanicals will be barely visible and the choice of color blending with the surrounding structures further minimizes the equipment's presence. Now therefore be it resolved, Community Board 2 recommends approval of the application unanimous. Okay. Anything further to add based on the testimony?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I agree with it happened in this case my view coincides with the community boards. I believe it's minimal visibility, mechanical equipment that's not uncommon and not inappropriate.
Yeah, I think in this case, because there is already so much mechanical equipment up there, it is just part of the appearance of this building, you know, and the adjacent structures. It's not, you know, this is an addition that isn't going to be really visible against the background that's there. That's how I feel about it. I think could approve it.
Obviously, I would want to see less rather than more, but I don't think I'm like in a position to tell what
Yeah.
else they could do. So,
Yeah.
based on the fact that there is quite a bit of existing mechanical equipment, and from that shot, it did look as if it did sort of fade into the
Mhm.
background of the other equipment. I think that's kind of appropriate.
Okay, so we'll present those conclusions in when there's a quorum, and be able to act at that point, obviously not today, but thank you for the presentation of everything. Yes?
Yeah, I was, well, it was, yes, it was a
Yeah.
very thorough presentation.
Yeah.
I was just going to say one other thing that, you know, while normally we do often want to consolidate things, I think in this case, there's so much up there that it would just create more massive look if they tried to in some way put things in
Yeah.
larger boxes or something. I think it actually looks better to have the individual broken up things. So I wouldn't want to go in the direction that was recommended by testimony for this
Okay.
particular case.
So with that, we'll close the hearing, and thank you. Motion to close, and a second. Without objection, hearing closed, day closed. Thanks, everybody. Productive day.